Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. Gets me my drinks for free. He's quick with a joke, and I'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. La-da-dee-da-da. Hey, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's me, Bob. What do you say? What do you know? How's tricks? How's the kids? Some weather we're having. How about that local sporting team? Good to see you, crazy cats. I can't see you at all. You can't see me. I'm everywhere, man. You open up the closet, I'm there. You peek under the bed, I'm there. You look in a bathroom mirror, I'm not there. You look at the bathroom mirror again, I am there, just like every horror movie. You pull open the shower curtain, I'm there. I'm up, down, I'm left, right, north, south, east, west, squeezing a lemon, stopping on a dime. Don't know where we're going, but we're making good time. It's the hardest part of the ring, and we are talking about the Hulu edition, not the big edition, not the one you saw on television, not the one they're going to put on the network, which is probably already up because this is late. We're talking about the Hulu edition with limited commercial interruption of NXT January 13th of 2021. Just a couple of things before we jump into the pool here with both feet. One of the great things about posting the podcast on YouTube is, well, first of all, that's where I get the most interaction and then the views and the listens or whatever the hell. The other thing is, every time I post a video on YouTube, I lose 2 subscribers. There's a fun fact. This has happened every single hardest part of the ring. I think this is the 29th or the 28th one. And yeah, exactly 2 people decide they're done with me every time I do one of these. So hopefully in 2021 we can get it down to no subscribers. Gotta have goals. You gotta have goals. But you can't just stand there on the sidelines waiting for the tag, feet glued to the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. No, you gotta jump in there, and then you gotta be a house of fire. You gotta be a babyface, a proverbial house of fire, if you will. We open NXT with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. Wow. The irresistible force met the immovable object there. And then we have a package. They dump their package right in your face. You don't even know it's there. Pressing against you on a crowded subway. It's their package of New Year's Evil. The New Year's thing from the week before. And hyping up the Dusty Cup, which sounds like it should be washed, no? That sounds like we should get at a bad bar. Okay. Whew. Is it hot in here? We open the show with Slappy Black... Slappy. Fuck it, I'll leave it. We open the show with Slappy Blackheart showing up in a tank, taking the ratings war a bit literally, if you will. That's 2 if you wills. I must have the Dusty Cup on my mind. Why would you drink out of that thing? Okay, and she fights Mrs. Gargano, Candice LeRae, and we're not done with these 2. Candice healed, which is good. I'm glad she's able to wrestle, able to compete, as they like to say. That's nice. But yeah, we're not done with this. We're still doing this. Where else do you go? I mean, that's still always going to be the problem. It still is. Just because we have one set of women's tag team champions on one show, sort of half the time, that doesn't change the fact that every women's roster on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, it's still pretty much, if you're not in the title picture, you got nothing to do. So it's great that they add women, and they should put more of them, especially in January, I think. Try to remind us, some of the lesser known seen women, try to remind us who they are and make us care, because the Rumble's coming up, and you have to care about who's coming out, because there's 30 of them. So, yeah, remind us, make us care. So, I don't remember anything too outstanding. There was a distraction by Indy Hartwell, and Candice LeRae hit a neck breaker off the second. Candice with the 1, 2, 3, 96 stars. 96 stars the match gets. Nothing too outstanding here. They had their match. Hopefully Sloppy Blackheart didn't hurt anybody. And then we have a mini-year break, and I think it was Kevin Hart selling insurance, if you need to know. And Finn Balor is here, and he said something. I forget what he said. Yeah, he said something without H's. He has a problem with it. Yeah, he said the date It was January 13th. He didn't pronounce his H's very well. Maybe it's an Irish thing. I don't know the answer to that, but that's okay. They don't pronounce H's. We attack our own Capitol Hill. We all got something. Everybody has something. Pete Dunne shows up, and he is not done with chasing after Finn Balor's title because he wants a title shot. And then there's a big fight, and Kyle O'Reilly jumps out, and the Undisputed Era chases off the bad guys, and they stare at Finn Balor. And then we have a match with the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Everrise, the first match in the Dusty Cup. And it might not have been exciting, but at least it was long. I guess 1,400 stars. The Grizzled, wow, this was long, dude. I think it was last year, the week, probably year before. No, it was last year. They did a good thing with the Dusty Cup where some of the matches, I think they just went quick. Like the earlier matches, they were going 2-3 minutes or even 5 minutes, and teams were getting. Doesn't mean you're being. That's the thing. Internet fans don't get this. They think if a match is short and you lose, you got squashed. No, it doesn't. That's not what squashed means. Squash means it was a short match and you got no offense. Or it was a long match and you got no offense, but that's rare. But yeah, squashed is you can say Warrior squashed Honky Tonk Man at the 88 SummerSlam if you want. But even still, that's Honky was still presented as a main eventer going into it. Yeah, I don't know. The Ultimate Warrior squashes Barry Horowitz. Okay, that's what happens there. Hulk Hogan, more or less. Well, no, he wouldn't even squash Dino Bravo. He'd give him something. I mean, he's not bumping for him, but he'd give him something. You get the idea. So losing fast is not a squash. They'd have a back and forth competitive 5 minutes tops, maybe curtain to curtain 5 minutes, and then someone wins, someone loses. But anyway. We all lost. I love the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're my favorite of the UK tag teams. I like the Hunt as well, but overall, for the last few years, the Grizzled guys have been my favorites. Especially Zach Gibson. I used to like his promos. Well, that's when they were live, though. I mean, they had people there, so it's really not fair. Anyway, this match was too freaking long. Everrise doesn't do it for me. One guy doesn't know where the gym is, and one guy seems to occasionally find it by accident. Then we have another package smacking us off the chin. Raquel Gonzalez says a bunch of stuff about beating Rhea Ripley, and she pronounces her name in the Spanish form, which is weird. She didn't say anything else, heavily in that accent, so it's always kind of weird. Raquel Gonzalez sounded like a white woman at a restaurant trying to pronounce her own name. I don't understand why. Anyway, the Undisputed Era is talking to a blonde lady. The blonde lady's name is Mackenzie, and they have a good time. I don't know what they said to her. I forgot. Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Isaiah Swerve Scott. I didn't mean that, but whatever. Neither of those guys were really, blew me away. And they fought two more guys who didn't blow me away. This team MSK, who's supposed to be very young and exciting, I wasn't thrilled. They did stuff that everybody else seems to I don't think they did anything that anyone on 205 they can't do, and I really don't care what stunts they can do. They just weren't charismatic guys. It was a very type of fake charisma, how over the top energetic can we act, so you confuse it with charisma. MSK wins the thing for this Dusty Cup match. I give it 4 stars. How about that? Yeah, what happened? Xia Li. So this is the first time I've seen. Actually, it's not true. I went back, which I've never done this in a while. Went back to see Xia Li wrestle or squash. And this was a squash. She beat the girl in 2 moves. From the week before, I think New Year's Eve, because it was the big entrance, big entrance, long entrance, took forever. But the guy, Emperor Snoke, sits in a wheelchair, whatever the hell it is, in a throne and watches her. And she beat somebody else in another couple of moves. Match gets 90 stars. 90 stars. I think she beat her in a punch and a kick, and that was it. But this time, The only reason I mention it, for two reasons. A, this is the first time Xia Li, since getting beat up by Raquel Gonzalez after turning heel like 4 months ago, has made Hulu at all. And also, they shortened the entrance. They kind of, they put the kibosh on that. I mean, it's still cool and creepy music, but I think there was a Karrion Kross Scarlett thing, like right before this. Scarlett was just talking some gibberish, but it was still hot because it's Scarlett. And I don't know, I felt like it was, it's each one stepped on the other one's toes there when they did this back-to-back. But I'm a big fan of Xia Li. I like seeing her kick ass. She's quick, she's athletic, she's sudden. Then we have the Undisputed Era in the main event fights Fandango. 90 guys. It gets 6,404 stars. Yeah, there were 90 guys in here. This is one of those things. This happens in every Undisputed Era match where the rest of the team and whoever they're feuding with have to come out. So eventually there's 400 guys outside, and they kick Kyle O'Reilly in the jaw and leave him laying. Before we talk about the finish, what happened here? Yeah, it was a babyface tag team match, and that's hard. It's funny to me watching Fandango wrestle the Undisputed Era, because Fandango, he has that he's a very classical pro wrestler. He's got that Zack Ryder, Miz, Kurt Hawkins style. It's a shade of fancy here, a shade of fancy there, but really, there's a very clean and somewhat non-physical style to it. That's always been my criticism of the Miz. There's guys I like I like Fandango a lot. I think he could be doing so much more. And also, I liked Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder as well. I don't want to say big on them, but I liked them. But they were never heavy hitters, and they were never getting hit heavy, it seemed like. And that's always been my criticism of The Miz, but The Miz has been featured so heavily, so consistently on the TVs for so long that I throw most of that criticism at The Miz. Yeah, Fandango has that very, classical, basic. I don't mean basic in an insulting way, because fundamentally these guys are all so good, but Fandango and UE was a bit of a contrast, and I was amused by it. I don't know if it worked. I think if there was a heel, then maybe it would have worked. I don't know the answer, but that's not what they were trying to get to. I mean, Fandango was there to lose the match, so we can get to where we got to go and have the Undisputed Era do whatever it is they're doing in Dusty Cup, either winning it or being in the finals, regardless, one way or another. So I bet you Cole and Roddy win it, and then yeah, they'd be good with the tag things and take it off to the Pat McAfee group that doesn't have Pat McAfee. That group suffers without Pat. And I can't stand Pat, but that group really needs him. I didn't make any other notes. That was NXT. It wasn't a bad show. Usually the shows after the big shows, the week after something like a New Year's Evil or a Takeover or War Games, whatever the hell, those are usually the stinkers or the sleepers. But this was good. They mentioned Timothy Thatcher not being medically cleared. They did a very short skit, just him walking away pissed off from William Regal. That's how, geez, I'm old. I still say Steven. Nope, the 90s are over, kid. So they showed Thatcher pissed off and walking away, and okay, that's all you needed. It took 15 seconds. It was like, okay, it was believable, It wasn't like, oh, he yells at the trainer, and then he DDTs her on the floor, and then he yells at Steven Regal, and he bites his dick off. Like, no, it's just have him act like a pissed off athlete would, but kind of a dick about it. That's all you need. It's like, oh, just get the point across. Whereas a babyface dejected might force himself to say thank you or kind of grit his teeth and be like, I want to freak out and be pissed off, but it's not the right thing to do, so I'll calm myself, or I'll grit my teeth against my own will, is what an angry babyface would do. And he'll just not have that control. He wouldn't have that kind of restriction over his emotions. He would make the wrong decision. So they'll do that match eventually, and I'm excited for that. It gives Ciampa nothing to do, and I'm a Ciampa guy, so who knows? Who knows the answer? I don't know if the rumors abound that Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are going to the main roster, which is silly because they're all on the same network. I have no idea. I don't think it's time for Priest to go. I think I see the case for Rhea because what else is there to do? Priest is too much to do in NXT. I don't think Priest is. He's going to get. Him and Keith Lee and Matt Riddle are going to be teaming up in pointless 6-man tags, staring at each other with all their thumbs up their butts, having nothing to do while Randy Orton beats them all up. So I don't want to see Priest go. I understand the case for Rhea. I really think the Rumble, the women's Rumble anyway, should be won by Rhea or Bayley and guilty pleasure Alexa. Those would be my three for not my picks to win it, although but three who I would like to win it. Those would be my three favorites. Three favorites of mine, not the favorites. Favorites of mine to win. And they're not bad picks either to really win a thing. Not terrible picks. Charlotte's always in discussion, of course. And you get to have... I think it would be cool if Rhea won the thing as an NXT wrestler. Like last year, she was challenged by the winner of the Royal Rumble. The NXT Women's Champion was challenged by Charlotte, the winner of the Rumble. So that was cool for them and the title and everything else. Then the entire world went to shit, so none of it mattered, but we all forgot. It would be great for NXT. That would be great for NXT, for an NXT male wrestler to win the Rumble and challenge the NXT champion at WrestleMania. How cool would that be to see, I don't know, Finn and somebody. That's the thing, who's the somebody now? Because he beat Kyle twice. I don't know. But Rhea as an NXT wrestler would be cool to win the Rumble. Win Rhea as a Raw wrestler, maybe. Have everyone be bitchy to her for a while. I don't know. I could see Rhea and Carmella doing a feud. Like, I could see Carmella be good at being, like, mean to her. That'd be fun. Those are all my ideas. I got no more ideas. Just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time, watching a tide roll away, sitting here just resting my bones. This loneliness won't leave me alone. Maybe I'll sing that next week for you. You guys are the bee's knees, you're the cat's meow, you're the cat's pajamas. Sunday or Monday, Frogs in Winter, my G.I. Joe adventure movie, should be available. And I believe just on here, I think I can do it free here on YouTube. And if I can't, I'll figure out another way. So follow me on Twitter, @BobHansonJokes, if you care about my G.I. Joe adventure. The trailer is up on the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on YouTube, just look around. It was like 2 videos ago. It's not hard. So I'm very excited about that, to bring some of my G.I. Joe and 80s toy friends their own G.I. Joe movie. But not as excited as I am. Little cotton mouth. Not as excited as I am to get some rest, to reach for that hot tag, to get out of the ring, let the other guy do some work, and stand on the ring apron, which, as you know, like it or not, win, lose, or draw, cross your eyes and dot your T's. I'm tired. Any way you slice it is the hardest part of the ring.